What's up, Nighthawks? Today is March 1st, 2018. Today we'll be hearing some interviews on school safety with Ms. Garner, Officer Varner.
And students also share their opinions about the school shooting last week in Parkland, Florida.
Your broadcast starts now.
Let's get started with some announcements.
Attention NTV fans. Have you ever thought about being one of the faces on Nighthawk TV? Well, your time is coming. If you are interested in being an anchor on NTV for the 2019-2018 school year, please pick up an application from Mr. Powell and B121 or the counselor's office today. The applications are due March 9th, right before spring break. Act fast so you can have a face and a voice that Nelson knows.
We will be celebrating Nelson's diversity through a multicultural minute during the announcements. We will provide a student the opportunity to create a 1-minute video that will be shared with their peers and teachers. If you are interested in speaking during our multicultural minute, please see Coach Rucker in the gym.
Nelson's math and science team competed in their first qualifying meet this past weekend. Congratulations to Saisneha Gadi, Magana Tamala, Madaran Silva, Anish Madmi, Avinash Mandala, and Rohan Panala for qualifying for the state meet. Thank you, everyone. We are very proud of you.
Since we had the 6 weeks pep rally yesterday, we will not be having our student versus staff basketball game tomorrow. Don't worry, the game is only postponed. We will let you know when the new date has been determined.
Today's show will be different from most of our regular shows. The topics we talk about will be a serious matter.
Our first interview of the day is Ms. Garner.
Let's take it to RJ and Ethan to see what Ms. Garner has to say about school safety here at Nelson.
In sight of recent events, Ms. Garner has a plan of action that she would like to take starting here at Nelson Middle School.
So as an administrator, safety and security is always our #1 priority. We take that very seriously and know that that's our duty, is to ensure that our students are safe here. I think that Frisco ISD does an excellent job in helping to keep us safe. We have resource officers in every building. We do procedures and lockdowns and fire drills so that students know what to do in case something occurs. We have cameras. We're very well trained. So I do believe that the students here at Nelson and within Frisco are very safe. I think that everything that can be done to ensure safety has been done. You know, we provide adequate training. We practice our drills. Everything that can be done is done here, but we really need to employ all of our students to ensure that they are taking the proper measures to ensure safety as well. We can't do it alone, so we really look to our students to ensure that they're following safety protocols, making sure that they aren't opening any doors for people coming in, that doors aren't being propped open, and that if they, are concerned about something, that they let an adult know. Snitching, oh my gosh, I've heard that term so many times. The kids say all the time, snitches get stitches, but I really believe that it is not snitching. It's doing the right thing. It's letting an adult know if you see something concerning. It's helping. It's being part of the solution rather than being part of the problem. Quad S, I think, is an awesome, movement or phrase that really is telling our students and staff, if you see something, say something. We can't do it alone. There's over 70,000 square feet of space in this building, and so if a student says something to you that's concerning, if you see something that is out of place, that shouldn't be going on, you've got to let an adult know, a teacher, an administrator, anybody, because if you don't say something, then we're putting all other students at risk of allowing something to happen that could be prevented. So we need your help.
Wow, Ms. Garner has some really strong beliefs about school safety and how it has affected Nelson, Frisco, and the surrounding schools in Frisco.
I know, right? And she's not the only one who has these types of beliefs. Our school's SRO officer, Officer Varner, probably has beliefs in the exact same thing.
Let's find out more with Avery and Claire to learn about school safety and what students should do in case of emergency and preventions against situations here at school.
It's for their safety, for the staff safety, for the whole student body. Just because they're saying anything doesn't mean something initially is going to happen. It's just curiosity is what we need around here. We need to be concerned about our surroundings. We need to be conscious about what's going on around us. Usually they hear it first. You're the first ones to hear it. Days, weeks, months before something potentially bad could happen. They're always the first source, and they're the best source. Doesn't matter, however much they feel comfortable. Text, email, Snapchat, phone, passerby, doesn't matter. Whoever they, and it could be any adult. Doesn't have to be a specific one, but just word will get back to them. That's not for the student to decide. That's for an administrator or myself. You know, a lot of people, in instances in the past where there's been a severe catastrophe, they always said, well, I thought he was joking. When they distance themselves from everybody, they don't want to be around anybody. When they're drawing stuff that's ugly, dark, you know, isolated, things like that. That'll get your attention. Security is an inconvenience. And by that, what I say that is, it takes time, effort to lock doors, keep doors shut. Everybody has to do their part. It's an inconvenience to have to get up and unlock the door to let somebody in. It's an inconvenience to have to go around to the front of the building or the main entrance instead of just any side door. But it's an inconvenience that's well worth it. The very front, when you walk in, I think those should be unlocked. The ones that are, the secondary doors, I think should be locked, even the one to come in the front office. A simple automatic button that the front desk person can do to buzz them in and out. It's an added inconvenience, but it's an added security. It's worth it. We have to identify what the problem is. 30 years ago, this didn't happen. As far as what's available to us, weapon-wise, nothing's changed. So we need to figure out what the problem was, or is now, and why this is coming around.
Man, I sure do agree with what Officer Varner said.
He pointed out lots of things to be conscious about and some of the things to keep people safe.
So for our last segment of the day, we decided it was time for Tech Team to finally get to work.
So we set them out on a mission to see what students say about school safety.
Many of us have been informed about the tragic event that happened in Florida. Let's take it over to some of our Nighthawks to see their thoughts on this event.
Why is it important for all schools to be aware of this school shooting that happened in Florida?
Well, it increases our awareness for how unsafe we are in these schools and in our appreciation for the school officers that would help prevent all of these disasters from happening.
So the students and the teachers can understand that this is something that can happen, and so they can be more careful and take certain precautions in the future.
Because when if it happens to them, they should be prepared.
Why shouldn't students joke about these kind of events?
Well, they're very serious matters, and the deaths of all these students in such cases as Florida shouldn't really be made light of, because this could very well happen to us as well, and you never want to jinx yourself.
They shouldn't joke around because there might be people in the school who are related or know the victim who might have died, or like relatives to the shooter. So it might be a sensitive topic to them, and it could trigger like emotional breakdowns and panic attacks.
They shouldn't be joking about it because it's an actual problem in America, especially with like mental health issues and like gun control. And no one should be joking about it because it's really serious.
Because if a school shooter happens to come into their school, and if they think it's a joke, when someone comes in, they won't think it's funny anymore.
What can we do as a school to keep our campus safe?
I guess we just need to be more careful and we need to think before we act or speak so we don't do any irrational stuff.
They could like look out for like signs like in students and in teachers, like see like how people are acting, because some people are like pretty oblivious to some certain stuff that's going on around our school.
Students shouldn't joke around during these lockdown drills. They should take it seriously.
Thanks for taking the time to reflect. Our Nighthawk's opinion really matters. So if you see something, say something.
I gotta hand it to you, tech team. For one of your first segments on a broadcast, you did pretty well.
You might be wondering what the Quad S signs around the school are all about. Well, Quad S stands for See Something, Say Something.
We shouldn't have to explain it too much because Ms. Garner covered it very well.
Safety is an important topic here at Nelson. The drills we do are to make sure we know just what to do in an actual situation, just like we did a few minutes ago.
For instance, Justin, do you know where to go in case the fire alarm goes off during passing period?
I never knew where to go until I was shown this graphic. Looks like I would go by the 50-yard line based on my advisory teacher in alphabetical order.
That is just one of the things your teachers will be shared with you on safety procedures on a PowerPoint that Mr. Miller shared with them earlier this week.
Well, that's what we got for this show. I hope you Nighthawks learned something today.
For NTV, I'm Drew.
And I'm Justin.
Pursuing new heights, we are Nighthawk Nation.